Hello artists, it's nice to see you again, and we're continuing with our picture of a little beagle. And again, I'm working with charcoal. This time I'm kind of using the vine charcoal. We were working around the nose before. This is the picture I'm drawing from, and I'm going to work with my vine charcoal now, and I'm looking for shadows. I'm looking for the shadow around the dog's nose, and I'm going to fill that in. And then as it comes along, it's kind of almost a triangular shape, but it doesn't quite get into a triangle. The top is a little like a V. And then again, I'm looking for shapes here. I'm going to add the little dog's nostrils. And again, if you make a mistake, don't worry, erase. You could turn this back a little bit so you can redo a part of the picture. And if you don't finish it, this is fairly easy to erase or blend with a kneaded eraser. Or you can use a blender, which is basically a piece of newspaper that's rolled up. You could buy a blender. Sometimes I do this. I use a little paintbrush to blend with, especially if I'm using my vine charcoal, which is very soft. I like to do make my charcoal a little smoother, so I blend it a little bit. Okay, and there is his nose. And then he's got some shadows in this area, and I'm going to work on those next. And that's right under his nose here and his little mouth. Usually areas that are dark are areas that go in. Like if you were looking into a cave, it's dark. If you were looking into a box and there wasn't a lot of light in the area, the inside of the box would be dark. There you are. So I've worked on his little nose area. Okay, next I am going to work on the area of his nose up here and up through here and add some shadow. Again, I'm looking for my shadows. And I will show you also the picture that I originally worked from later. I think I will go up and maybe work on his eyes. I love eyes. And I was thinking of working in this area, but I think I'm going to work on his eyes. So I'm going to give him a little shadow right here on both of his eyes, in the top of his eyes. So again, that part kind of goes in and recedes. Then I'm going to give him some circles for the middle of his eyes. I know for this dog his eyes are brown, but of course with black and white it's going to look a little different. So again, I'm just trying to see what areas are darker and which are lighter. Okay, now I'm going to do the middle of his eye. And usually there's another, this is almost like a whole circle, but it's not quite, because the circle overlaps with the top of the eye. It does not overlap with the bottom of the eye. Sometimes it might if the dog is in a different position, but in this position it doesn't. Okay, I feel like now it's a good idea to blend again, so I'm going to take some of my charcoal from one area, and then I'm going to blend it into the other area. I want to leave this part of the eye white. That's true of people also. Remember that when you draw an eye, you want to leave the middle of an eye is a color, and then you have the iris. Usually there's a little highlight, and that's what I'm leaving here. I'm leaving a little bit of a highlight. And again, there's my dog, and I'm going to begin to add a little darker line here. And as you can see, if you remember, I usually start out drawing very lightly, and then I add my darker shading later, because it's harder to erase if you make things very dark, and you may need to do some erasing. Okay, here I'm going to add a shadow for his little nose now. I'm going to be recording in 7-minute segments, and again, I'll show you my other picture. Put it down here for a minute, and you can see where the shadows are that I'm drawing from. And I'm bringing my shadow up through here because Curtis has a little light area around his eyes. Okay, here we are. Now this area has, I was being a little kind of almost scribbling with my charcoal, so I'm going to take it and blend it a little bit. And later I can add more detail if I want, like fur and so forth. Okay, I'm going to finish up this segment for now, and please come back because I will finish this little puppy up as we go along. Another day. Thank you.